Let's take a look at 4 different percent application problems together. Hopefully at this point you've had some practice solving percent problems using proportions as well as the percent equation, so let's go ahead and put it together and use a method of your choice for these particular problems. In number 1, let's go ahead and consider leaving a $3 tip for an $18.70 taxi fare. So the goal here is to find out what percent of this taxi fare is this tip. So if we go ahead and write P percent here, that's what we're going to be looking for. That's going to be our unknown. All right, now in terms of the tip here, let's see if we can find out what the tip is representing. Well, this $3 tip, this has got to be part of it, right? It doesn't really make sense for it to be anything else. So we're going to go ahead and say that A is going to be equal to 3. That's the $3 part here. And that's going to be of what? It's going to be of a $18.70 taxi fare. So hopefully it makes sense. This is the total price of that taxi ride. And so B is going to represent that, and it's going to be 18.7. Now you can go ahead and write a proportion, or you can use the percent equation. I'm going to go ahead and use the percent equation, which is going to just be this, where A is equal to P percent of B. Substituting in, I'm going to say that 3 is going to be equal to P percent multiplied by this 18.7. And then if we go ahead and just divide both sides by 18.7, we're going to be left with P percent on its own. For 3 divided by 18.7, let's go ahead and multiply both those values by 10, so we can just divide by 187 instead. And then we're going to see how many times this 187 fits into 30. Hopefully that makes sense that you're not going to get a value that is greater than 1 here. It's going to be part. So let's go ahead and see. This fits in 0 times, so we're going to have to go ahead and put a decimal and a 0 here. 187 fits into this only once, I think, right? Twice would be over 300, so it's going to be 187. If we go ahead and subtract here, I believe we're going to be left with, and it looks like we're going to be off here by 113, which makes sense. It's less than this 187. We'll go ahead and add another 0 and bring it down here. For this 187 going into 1,130, we should try out a couple numbers here. I'm just go ahead and estimate. I'm thinking maybe around 6 or 7 would get us close to what we're looking for here. So if I go ahead and multiply by 6, let's see, that's going to be 42, carry the 4. That's going to be 48 plus 4 is going to be 52, carry the 5. This is going to be 1122. I don't think we can get any closer, right? So let's go ahead and put a 6 up here. 6 times 187 is going to be 1,122. We were off by 8 here. And let's see, I think we're just going to add another 0 and bring it down. Now notice what's going to happen here is that 187 is going to fit into 80 0 times. So the next number is going to be a 0. And so at this point, we know it's going to be 0.160 roughly, okay? This is going to be equal to P percent. And if we want to go ahead and just get P, let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 100 here. All right, multiplying 160 thousandths roughly by 100 here, we're going to be getting about 16, right? We know it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So P is equal to 16. We can go ahead and say that a $3 tip is about 16% of the $18.70 taxi fare. All right, let's take a look at another one together. In this one, we see that we have a $1.44 tax on an item priced at $24. I guess we want to figure out what percentage is this tax. So first of all, tax is never going to be the entire amount of the item. That would be a little bit strange, right? But the entire item looks like it's going to be $24, and we're going to be figuring out what percent is that tax on this item here. So we're looking for this P percent, right? We don't know what that's going to be, but we do know the part here. The part is going to be the tax. Tax is generally a part of the price of the total. So this is going to be A is going to be 1 44 hundredths, or $1.44. And then this entire item we're looking at is going to be $24, or just 24 here. All right. Up to you how you want to kind of go ahead and do this one. I'm going to mix it up here and use my percent proportion. So that's just going to be this 2 fractions kind of set up here, and 100 goes on bottom. We're going to be looking for P, so you can use that variable P if you would like. And it's always going to be our A over B here. So this is going to be our general form. So if you wanted to use the percent equation, feel free to, or you can use the percent proportion. I'm just practicing both here. If we go ahead and substitute in, A is going to be 1.44, and then the B is going to be 24. Let's go ahead and just put that on bottom. And this is going to be equal to P over 100. Okay, cool. So we have this percent proportion. You can always see if you can simplify. And with decimals, it's a little bit tricky to do. You definitely could do it. I just don't know of a good number maybe to go ahead and divide it by right away. So if that's the case here, and we don't think that simplifying is going to be very helpful or it takes too long, we can go ahead and just use cross products here. So writing these cross products here, it's going to be 24 multiplied by p. That cross product must be equal to this 1 and 44 hundredths multiplied by 100. All right, so here are the cross products. We can go ahead and just simplify this a bit and say 24p is equal to, and this would just be 144. Then we can just go ahead and use the division property of equality and divide both sides by 24. We can see here that it would just be 1p, or using the identity property, p is going to be equal to, and then 144 divided by 24 I think is exactly 6 here. All right, so for this one we don't have to do any rounding. So we can say $1.44 tax would be a 6% tax on a $24 item. Let's try another one together. We have a $13.40 discount on an item priced at $13.40. This one's kind of silly here, but we can see that we have a $13.40 discount. That would be of an entire amount that was originally priced. The item looks like it was originally priced here at $13.40. So what happens if you have the item priced at $13.40, but you get the entire thing for free? Well, we can say here that we're looking for a percentage. That is our unknown. What percent is it when it's free? Let's see, A is going to be our discount. That's going to be $13.40 or 13.4. And then let's see, this item is priced at $13.40. So this is interesting. I'm going to use the percent proportion. I think this one might be good for this type of problem. Let's go ahead and just set that up. P is our unknown, but let's see what's going to happen here. We have 13.4 over this 13.4. Now, if you notice here, this is actually a 1-to-1 ratio on the left side. So if that's the case, the only way that P could be a value that makes sense here is that P actually just has to be 100. It's a 1-to-1 ratio on the left, so it must be a 1-to-1 ratio on the right. So kind of a silly problem here, but hopefully it didn't take too much time. We can just simply say that if you got a $13.40 discount on an item priced at $13.40, you essentially got a 100% discount on that item. All right, so kind of silly, but let's go ahead and try another one and see if we can figure out this one. All right, in this problem, we have a $2.66 tax on a $38 meal. So let's see, the total meal here is going to be $38. I think that's going to be the whole, right? And then the tax is going to be part of that. So this $2.66 is going to be our tax. That's going to be part of the entire meal. We're going to figure out what percent is that tax here. So different places are going to have different percentages on that tax. So let's go ahead and find that P percent. Let's see, our part here is going to be A. That's just going to be 2.66. And then our B here is going to be the total price of the meal, which is going to be $38. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and use the percent equation again, which is just saying A is equal to P percent multiplied by whatever B is equal to. So here, A is going to be $2.66. That's going to be equal to P percent multiplied by 38. So I'm going to go ahead and just substitute in and put 38 here. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and find P. So we can go ahead and divide both sides by 38. That would get us this P percent by itself. And we have to go ahead and take this 2.66 and divide that by 38. We like this 38 in the sense that it is a whole number already, so that's not too bad. We don't really need to do any manipulation here. Let's see, we're going to put the decimal straight up here. So we know it's going to be, let's see, it's going to go in 0 times here, 0 times here. So we know it's already less than 10% at this point because we have to go to the hundredths place here. And so what do we estimate here? Well, 38 is pretty close to 40, right? So 40 times 7 would be 280. So maybe let's go, I know it's a little less than 40. If we do 7, I guess we could try 6 here. If we do 6, this would be, I think it's gonna be too low here, but let's see. 48, carry the 4. 18 plus 4 is 22. All right, so that's a little low. Let's go with 7. So 38 times 7. That's going to be 56, carry the 5 here. It's 21 plus 5 is 26. Oh, wait, that's exactly what we're looking for. So let's put a 7 here. 7 times 38 is exactly 266. If we go ahead and subtract here, we're going to get a remainder of 0. So what we just find out here, this is going to be 0.07 or just 7 hundredths, and that's equal to P percent. Now again, percent means per 100, so how do we get rid of that? We can just multiply both sides by 100. If we go ahead and do so, we can see here that 7 is going to be equivalent to P. What this means is that a $2.66 tax on a $30 meal represents a 7% tax, which is pretty close to what it is in New Jersey. All right, so there you have 4 different practice problems where we applied our understanding of solving percent problems. For a couple of them, I used the percent proportion, and a couple I used that percent equation. Feel free to use either method or just use a different method to check to see if you are doing it correctly. So hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and sharing with a classmate or friend who might also find it helpful. And as always, keep up the great work that you're already doing.